Hey there. Another beautiful day. Today I wanted to talk about the beauty of community and how it's such an important part of my life in so many different ways. When I think about community, you can break it down to family, friends, your personal and professional spaces, the various people that you interact with, the various organizations that you're part of. In some way, being part of all these different communities pour into us or take away from us in different ways. There's an African proverb that I remember my grandfather would always share all the time, and I've seen it and heard it in so many different spaces. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I think at the time when I heard it when I was younger, it was always connected to different stories that my grandfather or others would be telling us. I didn't really understand what it meant then. I fully understand and embrace it now. If you want to go fast, go alone. You can move much faster when you decide to do things on your own. In some way, there's no obstacle. There isn't anyone that's preventing your progress. It's also a very lonely road, I would imagine. And then there's the other part. If you want to go far, go together. And I feel that that celebrates the power and beauty of community in so many different ways. When you are connected and part of a group, sometimes there's support that you don't even know that you needed, and you get it in so many different ways. There are stories that are shared, there are experiences that are shared, there's advice that is shared. You have examples that you can look to. You have a sounding board that you can connect with in real time in so many different ways. There's beauty in being part of a community. Sometimes we end up being part of a community by default. Sometimes we end up being part of a community by membership, by so many different ways, by relationship. When I think about the many pivots that I've seen and experienced for myself in the last 2 years, I've had unwavering support in different ways from family and friends. And in particular, when I think about my storytelling journey and where I see myself going business-wise, I think about my Life Leap community. I've talked about them here and there in different ways. About 2 years ago, I had this wonderful opportunity to join this community. And we are all over the world in so many different ways, literally. And being part of that community, I didn't realize how much I needed to be part of this group at that time. An amazing group of women who have all these different businesses that they're launching, relaunching, pivoting, and it's led by our coaches, Glo, Atanmo, and her husband, Stefan. And I remember initially as we're going through and you're hearing the different stories and the pivots of, what leaps are people taking in their life? What changes are we going to, explore? How is my business going to pivot? Whether you've had a business and now realize that there's going to be a change and ebb and flow, whatever it is. The unwavering encouragement from so many in that group, I can't even put into words. In some way, joining this group really also served as a catalyst for me to embrace storytelling. a lot of times when I was posting content to social media, I was really just posting really long captions with photos that I've taken and stock footage that I'm connecting to quotes that speak to me in different ways. None of my writing, sort of my thoughts in terms of a quote and how it resonated with me. So there was some original content with that. And a couple of times over the last few years, really starting last year, we were challenged to become more vocal with our storytelling. And I remember on 2 occasions I jumped in and did a 30-day storytelling challenge on Instagram. And in that space, I started sharing more of my voice and I started showing up on camera. And it's not that I'm uncomfortable with being on camera, it's just I felt I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be heard. And I felt that there was power in sharing my thoughts just on pages that were appearing on a screen. And I realized over time that the more that I've shared my story and allowed myself to be seen, I realize how much my voice matters in this space and beyond. Being part of a community is something that can shape you in so many different ways. It can provide you with the support and the encouragement that you need. On any given day, I can think of the text messages and the comments that I've received from this particular group when I've shared content, or even when we've had our accountability calls, our various WhatsApp group that we're part of at different points when we're going through different challenges, and the encouragement and the cheerleading that you get, on the side to keep going, to keep showing up, because sometimes showing up is hard. And we often talk about how hard it is to find a community that resonates with us, how hard it is to establish and develop friendships. There are women in this group that I have never met. I look forward to meeting them in person one day. We've talked in our accountability calls on Zoom and online. We've chatted numerous occasions via text and voice notes. And sometimes you would think that we have known each other for such a long time. And in some way we have. Over 30 days ago, I embarked on this journey to share stories, 100 days of storytelling on YouTube. And off and on, I see, the comments and the continued encouragement. I'm part of an accountability group. There are 2 other individuals, Keisha and Deirdre, who are also in this 100-day challenge with me this particular time. There are other members of the group that have started their journey long before we did, taking a cue from our coach as well to just show up. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be scripted. It's just you showing up and sharing whatever you're thinking of. I don't have a script. I feel like my menopause brain would not remember. And unless I bring my reading glasses, sometimes I'm not even going to be able to see what I've written in my journal. Usually I just have an idea or a thought or a quote, and I set up my camera and I record. A few days ago, I saw some comments on one of my YouTube videos from someone who said that she's part of another group, and the person, Amy, had reached out and said that her followers should consider following me and two other individuals, Andy, One Daring Adventure, and Brandy Beyond It, who is actually on an amazing journey as she gets ready to turn 50. Brandy is on a solo adventure for 41 days. I'll make sure that I tag them in this video as well so that you can follow their stories, or follow her story as she goes on this amazing journey. And Amy took the time to personally highlight each one of us in one of her videos about women to follow, and shared information about who we are and the stories that we have to share. And there were several of her followers who ended up following me and then leaving comments. And this is a beautiful thing about community. I had a wonderful opportunity to meet Amy when she was actually in the Capital Region, and we had a chance to meet up in Troy. And it's amazing to be part of a group where people unapologetically on any given day and time will go out of their way to acknowledge you and your efforts, will go out of their way to share how you inspire them and how you encourage them. This is the beauty and power of community. Sometimes we never know if we are in the right place or in the right space. We may have to go through some uncomfortable moments to even figure out if we're in the right place or if we're a part of the right community. And that's all part of life. In this chapter and in this season, I am so thankful for my Life Leap community, especially, that have embraced me and really spearheaded my storytelling journey in terms of showing up. And right now, all of us are in this space and phase of life where we're trying to figure things out. And we're trying to tap into our network, if we have one. We're trying to find a network. We're trying to find that community that's going to help to guide us and support us in different ways. Because we are definitely living in challenging times. And all too often, sometimes we may hear that solo person who has said, I've been able to manage my success and pursue things on my own. I can't imagine doing life and being where I am if I was alone and didn't have a community to fall back on in different ways. I'm forever grateful for my Life Leap family. I look forward to meeting as many of them as I can in person. For now, I will settle for our IG chats and our WhatsApp groups and our accountability calls. And I do encourage you that in whatever season you are in, I hope that you do find a community that will unapologetically surround you and embrace you and support you and acknowledge you, laugh with you, cry with you, hold you physically and virtually, give you shout outs, show up for you, cheer for you, and also let you know how proud they are of you. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So I hope you find your community. I hope you find your people, because they are out there. And if you've already found them, hold on to them. And you know what I'm gonna say? It's a beautiful day. If you haven't had a chance to go outside, I hope you do. Go outside.